Most people have the wrong idea about education. So when you're going through high school or college or grad school and you think that your education will be done once you get your degree or your diploma or whatever, once you're finished those years of proper schooling, you think your education journey is done. And then most people look forward to that. Like, they look forward to a time when they don't have to do all these dumb homework assignments and study for these stupid exams. But that's not the proper way of viewing education, because the pursuit of knowledge and education is a lifelong journey, at least if you want to achieve any outstanding level of success in your lifetime. You can't afford to not be continuously learning. You have to always be trying to acquire new knowledge and inform yourself about the world, not necessarily just about your certain subject area of matter. Because, like, say if you're going to school to be an engineer, but you really truly aspire to do something more, like start a business, your education will not stop once you get your engineering degree. You have to acquire knowledge outside of that. And maybe this sounds like maybe a lot of this knowledge that I'm saying sounds like it should be common sense, but I think for the most part, maybe if you are in the self-improvement area and of like the internet, then a lot of this advice and information that I'm trying to say is repetitive because people are always saying that. But I think for the vast majority of people, they don't view education this way. They view education as, once I'm done high school, once I get out of college, once I finish my master's degree, then I'm done with learning. And then I can just focus on, working at a job and still learning in that job, but it's going to be nowhere near the level of learning and information acquisition that you did in high school and college. But not necessarily saying that type of learning is correct, because actually, like, reading and being lectured is not one of the most effective. It's like one of the least effective forms of learning. So, you learn things. One of the most effective ways of learning is by doing and by experiencing and trial and error. So, but for some reason our schools aren't taught in that fashion. So I think what I'm trying to just say is that you need to look at the acquisition of knowledge as a lifelong pursuit, and you have to always be continuously acquiring new knowledge and learning more and furthering your education, just because of the fact that the world is always changing, for one. So, if you're stuck in your old ways and you're just doing the same things, even though, like, imagine the people that were still, or that still today would, maybe like the Amish. Think of the Amish. I mean, not that they have like awful lives or anything, but they just haven't adapted entirely. Some of them have like drive cars and stuff like that, but a lot of them are on like horse and buggy and stuff like that, and they don't use electricity. So imagine living a life like that and not adapting to the times. But I think the fact is that they're okay with that kind of lifestyle, and they've chosen that type of lifestyle, and they're fine with that. It's not like they're trying to be the next Bill Gates or something and then they choose to live an Amish lifestyle. So if you're trying to achieve massive success, then you have to always be continuously adapting to the times that are ever changing. And like the example of the Amish that I mentioned, I mean, imagine if they were trying to be, the Bill Gates of the world while still using horse and buggy and not even trying to adapt and adopt the new technology, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So I think we have to also view learning as a continuous journey rather than it stopping. Most people view the end of college as the end of their education, when it should really be the start of your education, especially if you're talking about doing things in the real world. Because, like I said before, when you're learning in school and you're just getting lectured to and reading textbooks, that's not the most effective form of learning. You will learn things, obviously. I mean, we learned how to read in no, I hope not in high school, but we learned how to read in school. We learned how to do math in school. We learned how science works, some of it for the most part, in school. So it's not to say that we don't learn anything, but it's just the way once you like leave high school or college, that's when people are like, oh, now you're actually entering the real world, because you have to actually do things rather than sitting in a classroom and just, absorbing the information, which again isn't as effective as, being in a job and doing the actions and then learning by trial and error, by failing and improving on your process. So I think that's what I wanted to say. I don't know if I have any other points about learning, but you have to view it as something that's always going to be happening. If you stop learning, then you're kind of just going to be stagnant in life, and that's definitely not something that you want. So that's going to be the video for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, and remember to stay on target.